Alrighty, guys, it's time for a special bonus segment here on the Left of Straight Show. Back with me in studio, Chef Lynn Wheeler is here. Of course, we know him from our full interview we did earlier this year. He runs the amazing Truck Gourmet. He's been a fantastic chef in New York and now resides in Florida. Had a great chat talking to him, so much so that I asked Chef Lynn if he'd be my special foodie correspondent. You might remember we did Foodie Correspondents back in season 5. I'm going to bring him back here to the Left of Straight Show. And luckily for me, he agreed to say yes. Chef Lynn, how we doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, Scott. Thanks for having me. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. Thanks for coming back. How is everything in beautiful downtown Florida?
It's great. It's actually, mid-October, it's starting to cool down a little bit, so it's only going to get up to about 75 today, which is bearable and not lovely.
There you go. My 2 times loving to go to Florida or Palm Springs, right around October through December. Gets me
Yes.
out of the Ohio cold, and it's not
Right.
not too cold there yet. Well, hey, thanks for coming on as special foodie correspondent. I'm very excited to see what we're going to be coming up with over the next few months.
Yeah, I'm excited too. Thanks for asking me to do it. I'm grateful that you did.
Well, you got the bona fides, my friend. It was a great interview. We'll give your website again at the end. Just looking at some of those things, I can't wait to see what you can share with the listeners here. And tell me, remind everyone real quickly about your food journey. I mean, you were here from Northeast Ohio. How did you go from Ohio to New York to Florida?
Well, I studied fashion design in college actually, and then when I first moved to New York, I was doing some costume design and stuff like that. But I worked in restaurants to put myself through college, and then in New York, to pay the bills, I was, costume design for off Broadway theater was not lucrative. I was working for a theater company where, myself and my best friend were the owners of the theater company and produced everything. So the money
Right.
had to come from somewhere. So we both waited tables and I just ended up moving up through waiting tables, managing, and then finally moving into the kitchen. And I just loved being in the kitchen cooking. I always cooked for friends and stuff, big dinner parties. So it was kind of something I always really enjoyed doing. And then when I started doing it professionally, I found where I really needed to be. And kind of looking back, wish I had started doing that from the beginning, but we find our way where we're supposed to be eventually. So, and then I met my husband 15 years ago, and we bought a place down here in Florida to use as a vacation spot, and ended up deciding when he retired from his professor job to move down here full time. So we've been down here for 7 years now, so almost 7 years now.
There you go, from snowbirds to gator boys or something.
That's right. Yeah,
Duck
sure.
boys.
There you go.
I love it. Well, like I said, I'm excited. There's so many great things that we can have you talk about over the couple months. I think you've got some great ideas. We'll ask for some suggestions from our listeners and see what they might want to be looking to learn. But we started out with your first segment. There's a great food and wine fest down at Epcot Center every year. You've been going to that for a while, right?
That's correct. Yeah, we've been going to that on and off since we moved down here. We even did once before we moved. We used to go to the parks and we went there during that. It's like perfect for me because I'm the chef and I love my wine as well. So so it's great. It's an awesome festival. They have some staples and then they have some new stuff every year. So it's pretty interesting and you get to experience a lot of different foods from a lot of different places.
Definitely. Well, you're sharing some of that with us today. We got a little video we're going to show you guys, and it shows some of these remarkable dishes through stills, and then Chef's going to talk to us about a couple dishes he was able to sample, and then we're going to go ahead and talk about the other side. So this is our fantastic special foodie correspondent, Chef Lynn Wheeler, and his handsome hubby. I don't know if he made it on camera or not. We'll have to see.
He didn't make it on camera, but you'll get to hear his voice once.
There you go. I love it. We're back on the other side. You're listening to the Left of Straight Show, special bonus foodie segment right here on the Left of Straight Radio Network.
Hi, everybody. This is Chef Lynn Wheeler with Truck Gourmet for Left of Straight Show, and we're here today at the Epcot International Food and Wine Festival. We're going to have a look around, see what's going on, and taste some food. All right? Come join us. The Epcot International Food and Wine Festival began in 1996 and originally ran 30 days from the end of September to the end of October. Over the years, the festival has increased its run time and currently goes from the end of July through about mid-November. This year, the festival boasts 31 booths offering food and beverages, both alcoholic and non-alcoholic.
We stopped in Brazil and we are trying the feijoada, which is grilled pork belly with beans and rice. It looks absolutely delicious, and we'll let you know how it is.
At just $6.25, the feijoada was a great deal. The slow-roasted pork belly was topped with a delicious Brazil nut pesto and a garnish of microgreens, and served over perfectly cooked, creamy black beans.
How is it, Lynn?
With my mouth full.
It's delicious. The pork belly's nice and crispy and tender, and the beans have a lot of flavor. Highly recommend.
Most of the booths are situated around the World Showcase. However, some are interspersed throughout the rest of the park as well. The booths have varying options, with some standards and some dishes being new for this year. When my husband told me that there was a fry flight, I just knew we had to have it. 3 different fries, starting with sea salt and malt vinegar. Then we have bacon and barbecue. And finally, sweet potato casserole fries. I'm so excited to give them all a try.
They're all delicious, obviously. Their fries, what can be bad? I prefer the 2 savory ones. My husband likes the sweet potato fries better, but they're all delicious, like I said.
We found that there was a great variety of offerings, including some vegetarian and vegan options. I especially noticed quite a few impossible meat options for those of you who are looking for stuff like that.
Third stop, we decided to get some ramen. So this is shredded beef ramen. You see a nice hard-boiled egg in there, and the broth looks really nice. It's very dark and hearty, so probably a little bit much for this hot, sunny day in Florida, but I bet it's going to be delicious. Just like I thought, it's very delicious. The beef is really tender, very thin, and the broth is beautiful. There's a little jalapeno in there, so a slight spice. And yeah, it's great. Alright, so that was my day at the Food and Wine Festival. I hope you all enjoyed. Come and check it out if you have time, if you have a chance. They're running through November 18th. You can find me on social media everywhere at Chef Lynn Wheeler, and my website is cheflynnwheeler.com. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys soon.
All right, we're back. That was our special foodie correspondent, Chef Lynn Wheeler, who's with us. Great looking things there. You got to try a couple things. Talk about the experience overall. How was this year's expo?
It was really great. I mean, we ended up going earlier in the morning, which is nice because it wasn't crowded yet. So, and now, kids are back in school, so it's a little bit less traffic when we get there. So it was really great. It was easier to move throughout the park. And like I said, on the front end, it's really great to be able to try different things, and everything's kind of small bites. So you can do, quite a few things, and nothing's too expensive either, which is awesome.
That is awesome. I'm the same way. I would go early in the morning because I'm not a crowd person. Everyone knows me, knows I don't go to crowds. But I don't know what breakfast items would pair with wine because I'd go to the wine tables first, so I'd be in trouble. But other than that, I could be a little tipsy by 1 o'clock too. It may have to drive me home afterwards.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
There you go. Well, Chef Lynn, that was an exciting trip there. Thank you for sharing that opportunity with us. What are some of the other things we might be having in store in the next few months over the year?
Yeah, so I'm gonna do some baking tips coming up for the holidays. Some things that I think will be very helpful for people. Um, I am hopefully going to do an interview with an old boss of mine who runs a really great restaurant in the Mills 50 district in Orlando. So I'm going to talk to him and see if he'd be interested in sitting down with me for a few minutes and talk about the restaurant biz down here, and probably do a few restaurant reviews. I've got a couple of great places that I really enjoy going to in this area and over in St. Petersburg. My husband and I have another place over there, so we pop back and forth. So yeah, those are a few of the things that I'm looking forward to, and I'd love to hear some suggestions from the viewers to see what they'd like, and yeah.
There you go. You heard it. Viewers, listeners, just go to our website. We're going to have a special page, Foodie Correspondent page for Chef Wheeler. You can ask him questions directly on there that we will get over to him. Any suggestions of things you want to learn about in the kitchen, it'll be kind of a fun to do. And I don't think I ever asked you, what's your favorite meal? Do you have a favorite meal when you go out?
Hmm,
And a
that's
favorite meal to
tough. I
prepare?
mean, I just love everything. So it's hard to choose, but I love, my husband's Filipino, and I love Filipino food. So we do that quite often. And my favorite dish is called dinuguan. It's actually a blood stew. It's a pork stew made with pig's blood and some chilies. It's absolutely delicious, actually. Yeah. So that is one of my favorites. To prepare. It takes a while, but I love to do a duck confit. Um, it takes a few days to do because you need to cure the duck in the salt mixture, and then you slow roast it in duck fat in the oven for like 3 hours, and then after it's done, I usually then drop it in the fryer for a minute to get the skin really nice and crispy, and it's just absolutely
Nice.
delicious. If you've never had duck confit, it's like so tender and moist inside, and super flavorful from just being cooked in a pot of duck fat, and crispy skin. Serve that with some nice potatoes also cooked in the same duck fat. Delicious.
Sounds amazing. I'm looking forward to so many great dishes. And I am the same way. I love all kinds of food, but I am a particular breakfast fanatic. So when you find your first breakfast place, we're going to be talking for that one for hours, I think, because
Oh, okay.
I keep saying, I tease my listeners that I'm going to do a cross country tour from New York to California, hit every biscuits and gravy spot across the country because I am just a
Oh,
breakfast fiend.
biscuits and gravy, man, that's my absolute favorite. My grandmother used to make the best biscuits and gravy. She'd
Oh,
serve it with a slice of really ripe tomato on it too. So good, so good. But
nice.
I've pretty much perfected my biscuit game now, so I make an awesome biscuits and gravy myself. So
There you go. When I come down for the live combined feed, we'll have to do something together and have a little
that's
breakfast. I like it.
awesome. That sounds great. Yeah, we'll do a cooking segment. I'll teach you how to make it.
Oh, I love that. Yes. All right. Well, Chef Lynn, remind everyone where they can follow you on social media and where they can find your amazing website.
Sure, the website is cheflynnwheeler.com, and all my socials are at Chef Lynn Wheeler, so find me there.
Terrific. All right, guys, look for Chef Lynn's special segments. We'll have probably at least once a month here as we kind of get these tips and secrets of the trade and try these different things out. We appreciate Chef taking on this responsibility of our special foodie correspondent. We know he's going to do an amazing job, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to The Left of Str8 Show. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast distributor, and please give us a 5-star rating so more listeners can find us. You can follow us on social media, and be sure to check out our website, www.leftofstraightradio.com, for contests and other news and information. See you next week.